You're probably aware of some of the movements to try and raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Now, a lot of those have been stagnant, have been stopped, even though there have been a lot of protests and a lot of movements to try and raise the minimum wage. Well, some companies out there have decided to take it upon themselves to pay their workers a living wage. And here's a good example, and this was, of course, posted in Think Progress. This is a story of a place called the William Street Common, and this has been open for about, as of the story, probably last week, has been open for about 3 weeks in Philadelphia. The owner of this establishment is a man named Avram Hornik, and he opened this up and he said, I want to create something called an indoor beer garden, which already sounds kind of amazing. Now, what they do is that they serve up comfort food and craft beer at communal tables. And what they do there is that they also had the idea that, hey, we're going to pay our employees from the servers down all the way to the dishwashers at least $15 an hour plus sick leave and health insurance benefits. Holy shit. That is kind of awesome. Now, the customer experience is also different. Now, tips are not mandatory. No longer are they going to ask for tips. And they're also putting their drinks all at the same price. Every drink there costs about $6. And I know this isn't meant to be an advertisement. I'm just reading some of the specifics. Now, it's $5 for the drink itself plus a 20% service charge. Now, that service charge, of course, is there to show that, hey, we're not just charging $6 for a drink. We're charging $5 for the drink, and we're letting you know that this extra dollar, this 20%, is actually going to our servers to make sure that they're paid well. That's awesome. Now, it doesn't just go straight to the individual, however. It goes into a pot. And this pot is there to make sure that everyone is paid $15, a $15 wage. Now, what happens, you're probably thinking, what happens if they don't make a lot in that pot? If they don't make a lot of money, if they don't have a lot of people? Well, according to this, management will make up the difference. Fascinating. Also, it says if there's money left over at the end of a pay period, employees will divide it up based on a point system related to experience or other factors. So, there you go. I mean, here's this place attempting to give their workers as much as they can for their service. That's kind of amazing. Now, how are they doing so far, you might ask? Now, you ask a Republican, you ask a conservative, they say, well, this will never work. They'll go out of business paying their employees a living wage and health insurance. Where's the profit? You're not going to make any money. Well, apparently, they are. Business seems to be booming, according to the owner. Now, he does say that this is a risky business bet, and they are still new, so we'll have to see how it goes within the next month, within the next few, quarters, within the next year. There is a chance that this might not work. However, Hornik says, this business model is a hypothesis, but I don't see much room to be proven wrong. Quote, it's important to create a brand where we can pay people a fair living wage. That's the challenge. If we can't do that, then we shouldn't be in the business at all. So if you can't pay your employees a living wage, he says, then we shouldn't be in the business at all. That's amazing. You would never hear that from CEO of McDonald's. You'd never hear that from Papa John Schnatter. You wouldn't hear that from a lot of our... They could learn a lot from this type of business model. It turns out when you pay your employees a fair wage and you take care of them, your employees will take care of you. You treat them as if you're family, and they'll take care of you. They will do their best to make sure that they do their best work to make sure they get more customers. More customers, better business, more money for everybody.